It's time to talk wartime philosophy and politics. Steve Bannon says tech billionaires' attendance at Trump inauguration signals surrender. Meta's Mark Zuckerberg and Amazon's Jeff Bezos are among the prominent tech figures expected to attend Monday's inauguration. I want to show you this and talk about the surrender of the tech oligarchs.
I'm very interested to hear what Tim Pool has to say about this. This is something I have been raising the alarm on. This is Tim Pool on his Timcast channel, and he's going to talk about Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon wasn't there during the inauguration, but Mark Zuckerberg was. This is, I don't want to put a damper on whatever MAGA people celebrating, whatever. I just don't live my life like that. I don't really see, I have a couple times where I celebrated MAGA, but I just not wired like that. Life is complicated. Trump pardoning the J6ers, grateful for that. Thank you, bro. Trump pardoning Ross Ulbricht, grateful for that. Thank you, bro. Trump being the cultural icon that ends DEI, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for that. Grateful for that. He left the Paris Climate Accord. Thank you, bro. Grateful for that. I don't want it to sound like I'm not grateful for the good things that Trump has been done, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to crash out when he's wrong. Let's get back to this. If you don't have Steve Bannon in the room, if you don't have Laura Loomer in the room, and if you don't have young Nick in the room, I don't think I've said Nick's full name. It's like Voldemort. I do it all the time on my other channel, and I've had struggles on that other channel. So I'm not going to say his name, young Nick, and I'm not talking about Nick Cruz. It's young Nick. If they're not in the room, but you have Jeff Bezos in the room, you have Lauren Sanchez in the room with her bra hanging out. If you have Elon Musk in the room, Barron Trump looking at Elon Musk like he's crazy, my heart goes out to you. Elon Musk stealing the show again. There's a story about him and Susie Wiles, but let me get back to this. I don't want to get too off the topic. We're gonna get back to if you don't have the right people in the room. Young Nick talks about it all the time. It's all about personnel. Who is it? Who are the personnel? Right now, the personnel is Mark Zuckerberg. Are you okay with that? Tim Cass will weigh in. I have not watched this yet. Well, let's see what he says.
But first, I want to show you this tweet from Will Chamberlain. Will says, the golden rule of modern America politics. Republicans should stop worrying about the precedents they set because Democrats always do wildly unprecedented things whenever they have power. Agreed. Or at least in our lifetime. And so with this story, I tell you, my friends, it is time to shift into a war.
So I'm going to have to interrupt because I'm not going to go back to this. So I'm going to interrupt. I agree. So what Will Chamberlain's saying there is basically it's him admitting this is a fascism, a fascistic in nature. That's what Will Chamberlain's. I mean, you have to admit it because it factually is. If you define fascism as the public and private sector, as Elijah Schaffer did well on with Tim Pool, or Tim wasn't there, but with his Timcast IRL. Yes, it was Friday. You have to acknowledge that. So Will Chamberlain is being cutesy. He's a very smart guy. I think highly of him, even though he's a neocon. He's doing a cutesy way of saying, yes, it is fascism, but it's in our side, so we're okay with it. I agree with that, but the problem is, how is Elon Musk on my side? Explain that to me. He hasn't done anything tangible to me that's been on my side. He's done things against me, banning people I respect or banning some, taking checks away from some, playing games like that. So let's get back. I'm okay. I like the take that it's fascism, but we're okay with it. The reason why I'm not okay with it is because it's not for me. Let's get back to it.
Wartime mental state. And what does that mean? I grew up fairly liberal. I remember watching Futurama. And in one of the cartoons, there's this character who's a polygamist with a missing hand who served Earth in the war or something. And he says, I disagree with you know, what you do, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. And I remember hearing that ethos over and over and over again from so many people. Disagree with what you say, good sir, but I will defend to your to my death the right to say it. I don't agree with that anymore. That only applies to peacetime when we are nice people trying to have a reasonable discussion. And the reality is the conflict is always around us. So at what point is it reasonable to say we allow our enemies to destroy us?
So what Tim is explaining here is why he doesn't say there should be free speech on X. This is my opinion. Because I've been like, why is Dave Smith? Why is Tim Pool? Why are these people not in my position where they're saying there should be free speech on X? It's because Tim says, well, Tim and Dave Smith think that they have somebody on their side, like Will Chamberlain is saying, and they don't believe there should be free speech, but they're just not afraid. They're just kind of afraid to say it. Tim is saying it here, but he doesn't link that in though. He's not linking it into like when he's on Pierce Morgan talking about these topics, and Dave Smith for sure doesn't link it in, but I think that's the take. Let's get back to it.
Let me clarify. I believe in free speech for people who believe in free speech. So I'll put it this way. If a communist comes to me and says, help, help, my free speech is under attack, I'll say, I ain't helping you. You don't believe in free speech. You're going to try and take my rights away at a moment's notice. If some libertarian conservative otherwise says my free speech is under attack, I'll say, hey, don't censor those people. That's not all right. I don't believe in that. The feel this way is that it's moving on from this state of let your enemies use your weapons against you, your ideas against you. We can't do that. We lose. Imagine going into a chess game and saying, I think we should all be allowed to use our queens as we see fit. And the opponent goes, okay, and then grabs yours off the board and throws it. And you go, well, I don't like that you did it, but I defend your right to have yours. What I mean is, the left has been advocating to take away our rights through these tech platforms the entire time. And we kept defending them over and over and over again. It's time to adopt a war mind. That is, they are coming to destroy our way of life.
And this is in a way a cowardly take. And I don't mean it's not specific to Tim Pool. I'm not hearing a lot, even libertarians. I'm not hearing Dave Smith talk about it like this. I don't think they really believe. I like Dave Smith, but respectfully to challenge him because he doesn't talk about this. Is we go back to the secession. What Tim is describing is people in a society that shouldn't share a society. If I don't believe, if I believe, so Tim's saying I do believe in free speech, but not if you don't believe in it. So what you need to do is separate and decentralize with people that have the same view on free speech that you do. Because a lot of the people that they're calling communists, they say that they believe in free speech, but there's always a qualification. And instead of saying that because maybe it's too radical, I don't know why you'd be afraid to say that because I want a peaceful one. If you want something else, then you should be afraid because you probably will get a knock at your door, and I could eat as well because people will want to construe it however they want to. But I have never said anything other than peace, never advocated for anything other than peace. But that's the true take, not this. We stay in a society together, but you don't get free speech, but they do. How do you even decide that? What kind of take is that? Elon Musk says you get freedom of speech, but not reach. So if a communist says you get freedom of speech, but not reach, how do you reconcile that? Let's get back to Tim. It doesn't make any sense. Let's get back to Tim Pool.
We don't want violence. We don't want conflict. We want Donald Trump and a good presidency. But that means the marketplace of ideas must be robust and resilient. And those who seek to subvert that marketplace must not be allowed. That means we defend free speech for those who agree with it. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that's not liberal, Tim. I don't.
What does that mean? I don't even care about the argument. What does that even mean? Does somebody have to fill out a questionnaire? Like, how do we know where the free speech stance is on these people? Tim recently, that's why he did that with Destiny, because Destiny doesn't believe in free speech. And then something happened to Destiny where Destiny got banned or not banned or whatever. A post got taken down or something. And Tim said, I don't defend your right. That's why he's saying it. But who does that apply to Anna Kasparian? Does it apply to Emma Vidlin? Who does it apply to? Obviously, he doesn't believe it applies to young Nick and the Groypers. I don't know. Let's get back.
Don't care. My point is this. If you have a philosophy, if you're a communist, but you defend to the death the rights of free speech, I'll protect your free speech. You're allowed to be a communist. But too many of these commies, these far leftists, and even whack jobs on the far right, whatever, authoritarian right, want to take away your right to speak.
Wait,
I'm not going
wait,
to defend those.
that means you are on the authoritarian right. Just be fully op. Let's be fully 100 here, which there's no problem with that. Just own it. Don't say those on the authoritarian right like you're not there now. And Tim is a lefty skateboard dude, but what he's talking about here is authoritarian right.
Communist. You defend to the death the rights of free speech. I'll protect your free speech. You're allowed to be a communist. But too many.
That's the authority to say, well, I believe in free speech, but you get it, but you don't because I like your idea or I believe in you or what. That's literally authoritarian. It's literally
These commies, these far leftists, and even whack jobs on the far right, whatever, authoritarian right, want to take away your right to speak. I'm not going to defend those people anymore. They're destroying the American way of life. Let's read the news. The Post-Millennial reports former Trump chief strategist Bannon said during an interview on ABC News this week that the attendance of major tech billionaires at President-elect Donald Trump's upcoming inauguration represents their official surrender to the incoming administration. As soon as Mark Zuckerberg said, I've been invited.
Steve Bannon was on ABC News. I didn't know that.
I'm going. The floodgates opened up and they were all there knocking, trying to be supplicants. So I look at this and I think most people in our movement look at this as President Trump broke the oligarchs. He broke them and they surrendered. Elon Musk joined in beforehand. I think,
Wait, wait, did Steve say he thinks that Trump broke them? I thought the take was in reverse. Am I mistaking this? I'm sorry, let me bring Steve Bannon says tech billionaires attendance at Trump inauguration. Oh my gosh. Oh man, this is a bad take from Steve Bannon. I didn't understand the take. Oh wow. Steve Bannon is saying the tech billionaires surrendered. What? Steve, you're not that stupid. Steve. Come on, Mr. Bannon. You don't truly believe that, do you? Don't truly believe they still have the power to ban him from social media. They're the ones that gave him money. Elon Musk, what happened is Elon Musk set the precedent. I'll get to that at the end. Let me get back to this. Wow, the take is bad by Steve Bannon. Whoa.
Chief Strategist Bannon said during an interview on ABC News this week that the attendance of major tech billionaires at President-elect Donald Trump's upcoming inauguration represents their official surrender to the incoming administration.
Whoa.
As soon as Mark Zuckerberg said, "I've been invited, I'm going," the floodgates opened up and they were all there knocking, trying to be supplicants. So I look at this and I think most people in our movement look at this as President Trump broke the oligarchs. He broke them and they surrendered. Elon Musk joined in beforehand. I think, you know what it is? Elon Musk, hardworking guy, smart guy, creating spaceships, some of the most important work in human history. And I'll defend it. And people are like, stop kissing yes to Elon Musk. Shut up. Elon Musk is not perfect. He's doing great things. He's a smart guy. He creates an electric car company, Tesla, wildly popular. It's exactly what the Biden administration should want. And they snubbed him. So he got revenge. I don't think that's exactly why he did it. Maybe that's a little petty. But he immediately says, okay, Trump, what do you need? They try to shut down one of his favorite satire sites.
That is why he did it, because he was a DeSantis guy. Remember, Elon Musk hosted the DeSantis launch, which was failure to say the least. On well, I think it was Twitter at the time, Twitter Spaces. Elon Musk was all in on DeSantis. He's never been. Well, I don't think he's ever been a Trump guy. Been against Trump all the time, and then he just flipped because DeSantis couldn't do it. And what else would you do? So I'll get to that take at the end, but that is why he did it.
That's the Babylon Bee. And so he says, I ain't doing this. And he buys X. And it's fascinating. To great personal risk. I respect the guy. He's not perfect. Criticize him when he deserves it. Everybody does. But I respect it. He came out for Trump well before these other guys. Now Zuckerberg's like, Elon had it right. He did better than us. Look, I get it, bro. You were scared. Elon, he declared war. And he won. They're going to say, Meta's Mark Zuckerberg and Amazon's Jeff Bezos are among the prominent tech figures expected to attend the inauguration alongside Elon Musk, who has emerged as a Trump ally in recent months. Both Meta and Amazon have also reportedly contributed to Trump's inaugural fund. Tech leaders have shown signs of softening controversial policies in the wake of Trump's victory. Zuckerberg recently announced that Facebook would eliminate its fact-checking service, adopting a community notes system similar to X. He also appeared in the Joe Rogan Experience, where he criticized the Biden administration and admitted that under his leadership, the federal government pressured Facebook to censor certain posts. Despite these shifts, Bannon expressed skepticism about these tech leaders' motivations. He also called Zuckerberg a criminal. Zuckerberg's, road to Damascus came a little late. It was after the 5th of November. It's very, now wants to be a bro. He kung fu fights. He's going to UFC. He's got his hair done differently. He's cut. That doesn't hack it with me. That guy will flip on President Trump and he'll flip on us in the second. When it's convenient for him, he will flip. I went on Fox News, Jesse Waters' show, and that's exactly what I was saying. These people will take their power, fine. As the saying goes, they want to join our ranks, by all means. Come and join the party, but you're walking in front of us because we don't trust you. And that means from right now until what we end up doing in the next 4 years with the new president, we must secure these institutions. We may have won this great battle, but if we don't make sure to decimate these crackpot ideologies, we will lose in 4 years. Heck, we might lose in 2 with the midterms. So now more than ever, we need to make sure that we get a grip on the narrative machine and we build new systems of resilience. Bannon also reiterated his past criticisms of Musk, including calling him an evil person, despite the Tesla CEO's recent support for the Republican Party. When asked if Trump ever pushes back on his critiques of Musk, Bannon responded, "If President Trump has a conversation with me, I will keep the conversation between President Trump and myself." Fair point. Looking forward, Bannon argued that Trump has a unique ability to unite a broad coalition of Americans, comparing him to historical figures like George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. If you had to have somebody to do it, he's the guy to do it. That's why he's at the level of Washington and Lincoln.
Okay, so here's my takeaway. This is the danger of fascism. Elon Musk was the first one with his chips all in on the table. Mark Zuckerberg's mad that he wasn't the one that did it. Mark Zuckerberg in 2020, the situation that was clearly and obviously stolen from 45, who would have been 46 at the time, he dropped $400 million. Him and his wife through their charity, I believe. 400, him and his wife probably, the wife that's probably mad that he didn't have eye discipline, as we talked about earlier, looking at Lauren Sanchez. And she's not even for me, she's not attractive. I know this is going to be, a lot of people view things differently. Everybody has their opinion. She's not attractive to me, but she's wearing that stuff. So the eye discipline's still a problem. Him and his wife dropped 400 million on the drop boxes and whatever, and they try to hide it behind, well, it's just to get out the vote, and 90% of the money is in deep black, or they were like, where's the blacks? And you put the money there, drop box, and you just on the backs of the blacks, you get them through the votes. This going through the apartment complexes and all that stuff. And Biden won. So he helped Biden, in my opinion, in the course of a crime. And he had no pull with Biden. He had no pull at all. Biden was president. He said, man, these companies aren't doing enough. That's why Zuckerberg's really mad. Joe Biden's yelling at his staff on a call about not censoring enough. And Zuckerberg's probably like, we would have censored with you without the yelling. What's going on? That's the real thing that I think is happening. What was happening? I dropped 400 million on you. I was going to censor for you anyway. Why are you on a call yelling at me? What the hell is going on? And he sees Elon Musk only drop 250. Elon Musk comes in with Twitter, uses the H-1B visas, and fires half the staff and brings in a bunch of Pajeets and everything else. Twitter's running fine now. Cheap. You got people who don't know the Bill of Rights, don't know the Constitution, probably censoring you on the app. Remember that one? I don't know if he's a Jeet or not. The guy was on Twitter crashing out on people of a paler skin color. And Elon Musk was like, don't worry about him. He just crashes out at the time. That literally happened. I've never covered that. That literally happened. And Elon Musk was like, don't worry about him. He crashes out on the whites sometimes. That was crazy, man. So Zuckerberg looked at that and said, dang, we got so much bloat. We got the DEI bloat. We got these other bloat. Elon Musk came in, cut the staff of Twitter. The advertisers left, or Elon would have made more money. Zuck's like, the advertisers didn't leave me. I would have made more money. So Zuck's copying Elon Musk and cuts the staff. Because really, a lot of these jobs were just, people call them like adult daycare, is what they basically were. They weren't doing anything at all. So now Elon Musk drops 250 on Trump, 277 at least on all the GOP, and he's dog walking Donald Trump in a gimp suit in public for everybody to see. I know Susie Wiles is trying to step in. It's too late. Elon Musk is everywhere. He's doing my heart goes out to you. He's counter signaling Trump. He's doing anything he wants to do. So Mark Zuckerberg's like, damn, I missed the boat. I'm copying Elon Musk again. Jeff Bezos, I missed the boat. I'm copying again. That's all it was. So fascism with Trump and Elon breeds more fascism. Sam Altman, OpenAI, Microsoft, all of them, Oracle, they all down. TikTok, they all came down and bent the ring. And the final thought is they're bending the ring. And what power are you getting for it? What are you getting for it? Trump has done some good things, but not for doing this relationship has not got enough. The number one thing, if you're going to have a relationship with these tech bros, it's got to be First Amendment. That's where they are powerful. You come over here, Zuckerberg, the $1 million you donated to my inaugural fund, that's just chump change, bro. I need you to open up your platform. My people want free speech. Let me see your algorithm. Oh, that's not good enough? Okay, we going to war then. That would have been like, I would have been like, let's go, Trump. Not this nonsense. Let me know what you think on that.
The next clip is ready below. Welcome to After Show Carnage.